Hey everybody, Lars here. What you are watching is the answer to all my problems. I'm going to tell you a little story. I've been teaching this class for about, 3 years now. And what I've always done is I've recorded these videos fresh. I think there's 18 of them. I will do 18. I'm probably using the Yeti mic and it's a mile away. Here, let me make sure my mic is set up. I usually shoot all the videos fresh, and I always tell everybody, my colleagues in computer science, the people at MDS, I tell everybody I like to shoot them fresh because I want to respond to what the students are doing. When I do the videos and I talk, it's like I'm talking with you, so I usually talk about timely things, how bad the Mets are doing, how bad the Islanders are doing, if you know me. I'm watching the Bengals play the Ravens right now. So I talk about what's going on. I talk about the things that are going on in my life right now. Tomorrow, I have to go to Robert Wood Johnson and take a radioactive iodine pill so I can zotz out my thyroid because I have a hyperactive thyroid and I got to get rid of it and give myself hypothyroidism because that's easy to treat. And I'm doing all of this junk, and all of my colleagues and everybody I work with tell me I'm nuts. They say you should shoot generic videos where you don't mention anything, what time it is, timely stuff, and you just do process stuff. And finally, this semester, because I'm doing a hybrid section, I'm doing an online section, I might want some videos in the can if we ever, go scale to the Coursera level or something like that. I decided I was going to try to do generic videos. And I don't know whether you noticed or not, but the first two videos you guys got, fall of 2018, were kind of generic. You don't know how I used to do my videos in the past, even though they're all on YouTube and you can go look at them if you desire. I always leave them up. It's no big secret. I know that you know that they're there. And if people think the beginning of the course is a little bit on the easy side because they have some programming experience, then they're welcome to go look at the videos from the other units and get ahead. But remember, you're always responsible for these videos. Anyway, I digress as usual. This year, I shot the first two review videos for Unit 1 kind of in a generic fashion. If you go back and look at those videos, I don't mark what time it is. I don't mark that it's 2018. I don't mark that it's fall. I try to be generic and not mention anything. So I thought to myself, you know what though? That's a drawback because then I can't mention anybody's name. I can't talk about what students are asking me what. I can't really do announcements because I want to be able to give you timely announcements for the end of units, like this unit is going to end on Tuesday, and I want to talk about those things. So my middle of the road, and just ging, it thunderbolted, shock, it got me today. I had my eureka moment. When I shoot these videos, I don't just do the review videos, which you will see correspond to sections of your slides. If it is a 2-week unit, you'll get 2 videos. If it's a 3-week unit, you'll get 3 videos. But I also do little things on the side, like this video tonight. I'm just going to quick whip up a little program so you can see a program beginning to end. It's not really part of the review slide, so what I'm going to do, hopefully semester by semester, is if it's a review video that corresponds to a section of the slides, I'll do the generic. You guys are getting them all fresh this semester anyway, because I'm shooting the generics all fresh. But the side videos like this, you'll see next unit, I either review the quiz or I go over some stuff. We'll get to the Project Euler question that we do in Unit 2 and Unit 3. I do a sample homework problem to show you something. Those are the videos that I'm going to do, let's say, the old-fashioned way, and talk to you and let you know, hey, we're sitting here in September, 2018. I'm about to have a glowing green radioactive neck. I have to be quarantined for 4 days. Luckily, I got a lot of cool stuff sitting here in my place. So I got all my guitars. I've got video games out the wazoo. I just went shopping tonight. Plus there's no rest for the wicked. I got a ton of work to do too, so I can do all of that stuff. So it won't be a wasted weekend, but I wanted to start things out by getting you this third video and getting ready and we'll do announcements at the end of this, but Unit 1 is coming to an end. Unit 1, as you are probably figuring out now, is more about getting you used to what's expected of you and letting you form that schema in your mind about what a unit's going to entail. I have to do my discussion post, which is due Saturday night, by the way, if you haven't done it yet. 3 days before the end of the unit. I need to see those discussions or you're going to lose a point. The quiz, which is always on the last day. This time it'll be Tuesday, but I usually open it up the night before because I'm a good guy, so I'll open it up on Monday around 8 o'clock. Your assignments are due, so I want you to get used to how, you know, the cadence of a unit and how it goes and the feel, you know. Steep in the resources, then you do the assignments, then you prepare for the quiz, all right? But anyway, stem to stern, really quick, I figured we'd just sit down here and whip up a video. I got to keep my eye on the game, though, every once in a while because Baltimore's coming back. It was 28-7, but then I think it was 28-14 at halftime, and now it's 28-17, so the Ravens are coming back. But I have Cincinnati, and I'm getting a point and a half, so I'm a Bengals fan tonight. But what's more important is we do some Python. So right here, I've got my idle icon. I'm going to double click it. I haven't even loaded 7 yet. I'm still running 6, as you can see. And I'm going to get a brand new program. I'm going to go to File, New File. And I'm just going to whip this guy up here. And I'm going to add some comments to the top. Not that. And I'm just going to put author Lars. That is the one thing that my colleagues always got me about. A program to, and we'll do, I think for this program we'll do temperature conversion. To do temp conversion, they got me about not doing the videos every semester because I would say, hey, I got to go home and shoot a video, and they're like, you're nuts, just shoot them once and put them in a can. I'm like, then I can't talk to the students, blah, blah, blah. Another thing they got on me about is these videos where I sit and I type and I talk to you as I type. They say if you look at, you know, the Code Academy videos and some of the Khan Academy and some of the other stuff, blah, 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 they don't type any of the code. It's there, like it's magic, like some coding elf came and did it the night before. And I've always thought that's dopey. You're gonna get exposed to learn Python the hard way. And the thing with learn Python the hard way is you've got to type yourself, because if you do that, then you're going to make mistakes. And that may be counterintuitive. You're like, yeah, you don't want mistakes, but you know what? You do want mistakes because you're learning. And if you make mistakes because of typos, in order to correct them, you have to know what's going on. So as you go back and you correct the typos as you typed it in yourself, you're going to learn how to program. It's how we learn how to do it. Anyway, I digress. Temperature conversion. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be a good doobie and say temp conversion program when I first start the program. So I'll print that on the top of the page. And then what's the first thing I'm going to want to do? I think the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to ask the person running the program what kind of temperature they have. Because I'm going to write a program that can convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius and can also convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. You'll see what we're doing. I'm just going to call a variable temp, which actually isn't a very good variable name because temp usually means something else when you do sorting. And I'm going to say input. I don't need the int here because I'm going to get back a string, and that's fine with me. And I'm going to say enter the kind of temperature you have, question mark, colon, space to make it look nice. And I will do that. Then I'm going to be dealing with two variables. I'm going to call them f and c. I'm going to want to set them equal to 0. See that little line right there? Python lets you assign variables all in one line if you want to do it like that. So I said my two variables are f and c. Create them and give them the value 0. So both of them are 0 right now. So I printed temp conversion program. I've asked the user what kind of temperature they have. So we're going to talk about this a little later on, because actually I'm going to create an error later on, and we're going to talk about that error we created. I'm going to assume that the user is going to enter either a lowercase f or a lowercase c. So let's do this. I'm going to say if temp is an f, well then I have a Fahrenheit temperature, so I'm going to want to get it from the user. So I'm going to say f int input, and then I'll say enter your Fahrenheit temperature. And the answer to the question that's ringing around in your heads is yes. I looked up how to spell Fahrenheit before I did this video. Now that I have the Fahrenheit temperature, I want to get the Celsius temperature. So how can we get Celsius from Fahrenheit? Now, I know we're all used to those old conversion programs where you have 5/9 and 9/5 and add the 32 or take away the 32, blah, blah, blah. The way we do it if we have a Celsius is we have the Fahrenheit. We're going to multiply it by 9/5, which in this case is 1.8. And then when that operation is done, we're going to add the 32. Okay? And this is also a good example as far as precedence of operators are concerned. You're going to do that multiplication before you add the 32, and at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. I believe. No. Celsius, I have Celsius, which is the low. No, I have Fahrenheit. So I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to do Fahrenheit, and I want to take away the 32. And then multiply that by 5/9, which is 5,556, I believe. We'll figure out if that's working right. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the opposite here. I'm going to say, what if temp is equal to C? That means I want to go get the Celsius, but I'm not going to type that whole line over again. So I'm just going to paste it in there, and I'm going to take Fahrenheit, which I should have made capital, and I'm just going to make that Celsius. I think that's the right way to spell it. Let me come up here and make my Fahrenheit that. So now I have the Celsius, and now is when I want to add the 32. So I think I do C times 1.8, and then I add the 32, right? Because Fahrenheit's the bigger inflated one. And that should be good. There's something else wrong here, and we're going to get to it in a second, but I want to tinker. So I'm going to say print F, and then Fahrenheit, comma, space, C, colon. Yeah, that's right. And then C. All right, we've got two issues right here, and we're going to get to both of them. But first, I'm going to run this program and see what we got. So I hit Control S. I'm just going to call it temper, and temper already exists because I've done this before, and I say yes. So now, Control S, Control 5. Temperature conversion program. Enter the kind of temperature you have. I'm going to say Fahrenheit. Enter your Fahrenheit temperature. So, happen to know that if my Fahrenheit temperature is 212, my Celsius should be 100. So that worked. Only do. Good example. You get that little 108 down there. Because at the end of the day, this is the result of something using floating point numbers. So my C and my F are going to be floats. Let's neaten that up a little bit. And instead of doing a bunch of formatting, let's just cast the things to integers and make life easy that way. So now if I do an F and I say 212, now I get 212, and for Celsius I get 100. And that's correct. So if I run it again, and I say I have a Fahrenheit temperature, my Fahrenheit temperature is 32, well then my Celsius should be 0, yeah? And it is. All right, so that's pretty good. Now, let's try it the other way around. I have a Celsius temperature. What's my Celsius temperature? I'm going to say 100. So that's the point at which water boils. Should be 212 on the other end. And it is. So let's check the other side of that. And what kind of temperature do you have? I have Celsius 0. 0 Celsius is the freezing point of water. It should be 32 in Fahrenheit. And it is. So we've got a decent little program here, I'm believing, except there's one thing that's a little messed up, and we're also going to mess something up ourselves in a second. Let's run this program. Hey, what kind of temperature you have? I don't know, G. Just give it something dopey, right? When I say G, well, it goes 0 and 0, and it just drops out. Really shouldn't do that. It should tell me something. I have an if and an elif. You know what? I never did an else. So for the else, I'm just going to say print, you should enter a F or a C. And as you can see, I'm using single quotes inside the string, so I'm using double quotes to delimit the whole thing. And then at least, I don't know, error message, but at least if I give it something stupid, I'll get that you should enter either an F or a C. Then it'll do my zeros. Okay? And I could even do a test to see if the F and the C are both zeros, and if they are, not to print it, or something like that, okay? So, I've got a pretty good program here. I mean, if I've got a Fahrenheit temperature, I can get the Celsius. If I've got the Celsius, I can get the Fahrenheit. If I give it some dopey input, then it's going to tell me, hey, you should enter an F or a C, so that's a decent thing. One thing I always thought about with this is, what if I set it up so I could say, hey, take capitals, right? So then I can do something like this. So I could say if temp is equal to F or uppercase F or C or uppercase C for Celsius, well then I don't have to worry about that, and I can actually say enter an F, and then I could do slash capital C slash capital, and that should work, right? So I save and I run and I say, what kind of temperature do you have? And I'll go, okay, I have a capital C, I have a Celsius temperature. And then the next line, it says enter your Fahrenheit temperature. I said, well, I gave it a C. What's going on here? Well, I give it 212, so it's due in Fahrenheit. So I come up here and I look, and I say, if it's that equal to F or F, okay, it's not, so it should skip that. Elif, if temp is equal to C or C. Well, I gave it a capital C. I could even come down here and type in temp and see that it holds a capital C. So that capital C should mean that I ask for the Celsius temperature, but I don't. I ask for the Fahrenheit temperature. I'm going to run it again. What kind of temperature do you have? I'll give it a lowercase c this time. So lowercase c. Enter your Fahrenheit temperature. What the hell is going on here? Okay, I'll give it 32, so I get a 0, so at least I know the conversion's working, right? What's going on here is the way that Boolean algebra works in an if statement. You see this line right here, if temp is equivalent to F or capital F, okay? What Python is really seeing is if F is equal to temp is equivalent to F or just F, okay? And if you know anything about how computers work, true is 1 and 0 is false. So basically that is a relational operator, so it's going to evaluate to a true or a false. Numerically, that's going to be a 1 or a 0. This right here, I don't know what it is, but I can tell you one thing, it's not 0. Okay? What it's going to be is it's going to be the ANSI. So this is confusing, so don't get nuts on this. It'll be the ANSI or the EBCDIC value of capital F. Okay? But it won't be 0, which means it won't be false, which means when this is getting read, remember, this is an OR. If either side is true, and remember your logic, if either side is not false, well, that means it's going to go through. So that F is seen as true, and we run the next line, which is enter your Fahrenheit temperature. What I really need to do, in order to do what I intended to do my logic correctly, is I need to say this. I need to make sure I test that temp twice. If temp is equal to lowercase f or temp is equivalent to uppercase. Now, when we do that, things will work properly. I'm going to do it down here too, only I won't group with the parentheses. Python gives you the option. You can group with parentheses, or like down here with the Celsius, you don't have to. Okay? I can tell you from my eyes, my old broken down computer programmer for the last 35 years eyes, the first one looks better to me. Okay? When you group them together. To me, that's a little more readable, if you ask me. It segments it out. So, we have solved a problem. We must run it. So I do capital C now, and now it says, what's your Celsius temperature? And I'm like, phew, things are working. So I'm going to, 37, that's pretty hot for Celsius. 100? Nah, 98, I was close. Well, hold on. I'm a moron. I want to give it Celsius. So, Celsius, I'll give it a lowercase this time. There's my 138. Okay? So, at the end of the day, and we've only been doing this for like 15 minutes, but this is basically how I start doing a program. Back in the day, when I was learning, late 80s, 90s, you used to have to do flow charts and graphs and plan out your program and blah, blah, blah. This is because compile time was precious. Memory was precious. There wasn't a lot. You had to make sure you used it properly. But I've always said this, and everybody in computer science says it now. We are lousy with resources now. We all have our own processors, your laptop. The processor is more powerful than what went to the moon. It's more powerful than the mainframes that were being used in the 60s and 70s, okay? Plus, we have tons of memory. Memory is cheap, and we have tons of it now. So we can now not necessarily plan as much as we used to in the past. I'm not saying do things stupidly, but now designers, I know game designers, we'll get to that later in the course, also computer programmers, now do something called rapid prototyping. We get something close up and running, and we have people use it. Computer programming, it's called unit testing, and in gaming, it's called play testing. And then you work out the bugs in an iterative design process, okay? So we're thinking more modern. I say we're thinking more modern, but basically we're doing what we did in the 80s and 90s anyway, is we're rapid prototyping. We're getting something small working, then we're building on it, building on it, building on it, building on it. But we want to make sure we do so in a sound way, in an iterative process where, okay, this is wrong, let's fix this, run it again. Okay, I'd like to improve this, fix this, run it again, okay? So basically, if I had given you an assignment, and this is about the level of a Unit 1, maybe a little more than Unit 1, a little less than Unit 2 assignment, and I said, write me a temperature converter, I could see you sitting down, spending a half hour, maybe a little bit longer because you're not all nerded up like I am. I've been doing this 30 years. And craft something like this. I could see this being something that you would do for a small assignment or an exercise. Okay? I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it again in Unit 2. I'm going to say it for a while. You can't just do the assignments and think you're going to learn enough programming to get by the end of the course. You need to do the exercises at the end of slides. You need to tinker. You need to play. You need to do things. Programmers program. That's why I want you to spend 15 minutes a day or a half hour every other day and do this a little bit every day and get used to it and practice. Because like playing an instrument or playing a sport or shooting free throws or shooting a hockey puck from the blue line, you need to practice in order to get good at these things. Okay? If you just do the assignments and you get to Unit 6, all of a sudden you're going to have your final project due, and you're going to have 2 fairly complex programs to deal with for data structures. You're going to drive yourself nuts because you're not going to have built up the skills you need to just do the simple stuff quickly. Okay? So I implore you, watch these videos. I'm not going to put this code on Canvas. I want you to see it. Type it in yourself if you want, because then you'll make mistakes and then you'll have to correct them, and tinker around and play with things. Okay? As far as announcements are concerned, we're sitting here Thursday night. The unit ends Tuesday. Tuesday's going to be the day of the quiz, but I'm going to open it up the day before for you. All right? Assignments, when you submit them, they need to be programs. I don't want to see anybody playing around in the interactive window and then just sending a screenshot of what. No. We programs. It's got to be a .py file, just like we're doing here in the video. Someone will shoot me every year. Somebody will shoot me a screenshot with the interactive window. And I'll say, I need a program. They're like, but what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? What do I mean? Are you watching the videos? Are you doing anything? Somebody who's not doing the work. Somebody who's not looking at the resources. Okay? Don't get caught. .py for both Assignment 1 and Assignment 2. Okay? I can't remember who, but I answered somebody's question earlier tonight. As far as the conversion program, the miles, the feet, and all that, you could use floating point, you could use integer, either one. I don't care. It's not what I'm looking for when I look for the answer to that one. Actually, you're going to get to the second assignment, you're going to go, well, this is easier than the first one. Usually I flip them. I did them backwards this time. Usually that one with miles and that conversion, that's the first program, and then the second one is the one where you have the weight and the age and you have to do the guessing and you have to do the Boolean algebra. That's usually assignment 2. I did them backward this year, so not a big deal. All right? I like the way you guys are using the forums. A lot of people in the past, when I was on Sakai, they didn't use the forums as much. If you guys have questions, use the forums like you're doing. I like it. I like the fact that these things are getting asked and everybody who's in the course can basically see what the answers are and see what's going on. Like I said before, this unit is all about you getting used to what's expected, getting used to the schema of a unit, spending a week with the resources, then getting the assignments, then doing the quiz. along the way doing that forum post, along the way practicing. This is how we learn. Remember, 3 stages. First, you're the learner. You're dealing with the resources. You're doing the exercises. Then you're the practitioner. Okay? You have assignments. You now have something to do. You have a commission. You have a charge. You have something that you have to do. So you're the practitioner. Then at the end, you're the expert. I'm going to ask you questions and you're going to answer them like you're an expert on the topic. Okay? So you're doing things from 3 different perspectives. All right? All right. Then I'm going to get out of here. What have we, 20, 25 minutes? What do we got? Look at that. The Bengals scored again. It's 28-23. Did they just kick an extra point? They scored just a couple minutes ago. Or no? What's going on here? I just saw the Bengals kick an extra point. Oh, it's 30. They kicked a field goal. So it's 31-23. Bengals right now. So they're still up 8. And I'm getting a point and a half. So it's really 9.5. I digress. I still haven't set up a DraftKings account either. Betting's legal now. I don't know what the mob's going to do because the state of New Jersey has taken over all their businesses. Since the 70s, New Jersey's been doing the numbers because that's all the lottery is. Back in the day when my idiot father played the numbers, so you would look at the paper and whatever the money that they spent at the track that day was, whatever the last 3 numbers were, that was like the lottery number. That's when you did it with the mob. But then New Jersey took that over. Now New Jersey has taken over sports betting. There's going to be nothing left for the mob to do. Basically, in 10, 15 years, the New Jersey will be putting out hits on people because they seem to be just taking over the mob so they can make money, so they can charge more taxes. The mob's going to have nothing left to do. They're going to have to go somewhere else because New Jersey's taking everything over. Anyway, I don't bet with a bookie. I bet with my idiot friends, and we all have a sheet that we do every week. But now you don't need a bookie. You could just go on DraftKings and get an account, or you could go down to Monmouth Racetrack and you can bet on any sports you want. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right, too much. This is the thing I can't do with those generic videos, though. So this is why I want to at least have the opportunity to talk to you about current stuff, current things we're doing in class. Sports, believe me, you're going to hear about how bad the Islanders are. Tavares left us and blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm going to get out of here. This is probably the last, and it's not probably, it is going to be the last video I do for Unit 1. The next video you're going to get is going to be the first review video for Unit 2. When Unit 2 hits the scene next Wednesday, you'll get the slides. Then a couple days later, you'll get the first video. And then you'll get the second video. And all of a sudden, Unit 2 will be just like this one. And you'll be like, okay, I get this. There's a rhythm to this course, blah, blah, blah. All right? And then Unit 3 will pop up and ruin all your lives. Just kidding. All right, I'm getting out of here. You be good. Questions in the forums. I'm going to sit here radioactive all weekend and probably shoot a bunch of videos and do a bunch of announcements and answer a bunch of your questions. So I'll be around, all right? All right, good. You have a good night, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.